Most people sitting down at their computer right now have no idea they've been paying for something they never had to buy. A Windows 11 home license costs $139.99 at Microsoft's official store. Windows 11 Pro costs $199.99, and that's before the subscriptions, the forced updates, the ads baked directly into the start menu, and the telemetry running in the background every single time you turn your machine on. According to Microsoft's own privacy documentation, Windows 11 collects diagnostic data across multiple categories by default, including your hardware configuration, installed software, and usage patterns. You cannot fully turn it off. You can only reduce it. And the operating systems that actually replace Windows, not just run alongside it, not just approximate it, are completely free. 3 of them. You're going to recognize all 3 names. We're counting down from the one that requires the most adjustment to the one that is, by every measurable standard, the most complete Windows replacement available today. One of these 3 runs faster on hardware that Windows 11 officially refuses to support. Let's get into it. Number 3, Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the most recognized name in Linux. It has been downloaded over 100 million times. It powers a significant portion of the world's servers, cloud infrastructure, and developer workstations. Canonical, the company behind it, has spent 2 decades building Ubuntu into the most documented, most supported, most ecosystem-rich free operating system on the planet. If you search any Linux question online, the answer almost certainly references Ubuntu first. Now open the default desktop. What you find is GNOME, pronounced GNOME, a desktop environment that looks nothing like Windows. The taskbar is gone. The start menu is gone. The system tray behaves differently. The application launcher requires a different mental model entirely. For a user coming directly from Windows 10 or Windows 11, the first 30 minutes with Ubuntu feel like arriving in a country where you speak the language. But the street signs are in a different alphabet. That is not a fatal flaw. Ubuntu's software repository contains over 60,000 packages. The Snap Store adds thousands more. Hardware compatibility is the broadest of any Linux distribution. If your machine is unusual, Ubuntu is the most likely to handle it without manual configuration. The mechanism behind Ubuntu's learning curve is architectural, not cosmetic. GNOME was designed around a workflow philosophy that prioritizes keyboard navigation and application switching over persistent visual anchors. Once you internalize it, it is genuinely fast. Before you internalize it, it is genuinely disorienting. For anyone managing a small business, running a development environment, or deploying machines across multiple users, Ubuntu's enterprise documentation and long-term support releases, 5 years of guaranteed updates per version, make it the most defensible choice at scale. Canonical reported $292 million in revenue for 2024, according to their published annual report. Ubuntu itself remains free. The business model runs on enterprise support contracts. That means the free version you download is not a stripped product. It is the full product. The next option was built specifically for people who looked at Ubuntu and said, "This is too different." And it solved that problem almost completely. Number 2, Zorin OS. Zorin OS presents itself as the operating system designed to make switching from Windows feel like nothing happened. That is not marketing language. It is an accurate description of what the development team actually built. The default desktop layout places the taskbar at the bottom of the screen. The Start button is in the lower left corner. The system tray sits in the lower right. Application windows minimize, maximize, and close with buttons in the positions Windows users have used since 1995. Now look at what's underneath. Zorin OS is built on Ubuntu. That means it inherits Ubuntu's software compatibility, its hardware support, its security architecture, and its update infrastructure. But the interface layer on top of that foundation has been rebuilt from scratch to eliminate the transition friction that makes Ubuntu difficult for Windows migrants. The Zorin Appearance panel lets you switch your desktop layout between Windows style, macOS style, and several others in under 30 seconds. No reinstallation, no configuration files. A single click. The mechanism that makes this work is a custom desktop environment called Zorin Desktop, built on top of GNOME, but modified so extensively that the underlying GNOME structure is invisible to the average user. You get GNOME's stability and performance without GNOME's learning curve. For anyone managing a household with non-technical users, parents, partners, children who have only ever used Windows, Zorin OS is the only Linux distribution where you can hand someone the machine and not receive a phone call 20 minutes later. The visual familiarity is that complete. Zorin OS was created by two brothers, Artyom and Kirill Zorin, who started the project as teenagers. The core operating system is free. A paid Pro version at $47.99 adds additional desktop layouts and pre-installed productivity software. The free version contains everything you need to replace Windows entirely. The operating system coming up next has been the most recommended Windows replacement among Linux communities for over a decade. And the reason it holds that position is not nostalgia. Number 1. Linux Mint. Linux Mint is the most downloaded Linux distribution in the world for consumer desktop use. It has held that position consistently since 2011. It is not the flashiest option. It does not have the largest corporate backing. It does not generate the most press coverage. It works reliably, quietly, and in a way that requires almost no adjustment from a Windows user every single time. Open Linux Mint for the first time. The taskbar is at the bottom. The application menu is in the lower left corner, and it is organized exactly the way Windows users expect. Categories on the left, applications on the right, a search bar at the top. The system tray shows your network, volume, clock, and battery in the lower right. File Manager opens with a sidebar showing your home folder, your drives, and your network locations. The entire visual language is so close to Windows 7 and Windows 10 that users who have never touched Linux routinely report forgetting they switched. That familiarity is not accidental. The Linux Mint development team has made an explicit, documented, years-long commitment to one principle: do not change things that work. While other distributions chase design trends, Mint ships the same reliable Cinnamon desktop environment, refined incrementally, without breaking the muscle memory of the people using it. The mechanism behind Mint's stability is its update philosophy. Linux Mint categorizes every update by risk level. Level 1 and Level 2 updates, safe, tested, low risk, are applied automatically. Level 3, 4, and 5 updates, kernel changes, system-level modifications, are presented to the user with a clear explanation before anything is installed. You are never surprised by a restart that changes how your machine behaves. That is a direct contrast to Windows Update, which shipped a broken update in October 2018 that deleted user files from millions of machines, and repeated the pattern in 2024. When Microsoft was forced to withdraw an October update after widespread reports of restart loops, blue screens, and USB failures. For anyone managing a chronic health condition, a home-based business, or any situation where a computer that suddenly stops working is not an inconvenience, but a genuine problem. The predictability of Linux Mint is not a minor feature, it is the feature. Linux Mint runs on hardware that Windows 11 officially refuses to support. Machines without TPM 2.0, machines without secure boot, machines that Microsoft declared obsolete in 2021 that run Linux Mint today faster than they ever ran Windows 10. The Linux Mint project generates no revenue from the operating system itself. It is funded entirely by donations and a small percentage of revenue from optional commercial applications in the Mint software manager. Two brothers and a small team of volunteers built the most used desktop Linux distribution in the world. Microsoft charges $139.99 for the alternative. Now that you know which three systems actually replace Windows, here's how to choose the right one. Best option number 3, Ubuntu. If you are a developer, a system administrator, or someone who wants maximum software availability and is comfortable spending a few days learning a new interface, Ubuntu is the right choice. The software repository is unmatched. The documentation is unmatched. The enterprise support options are unmatched. Download the LTS version, long-term support, which receives 5 years of security updates from release date. The current LTS as of April 2026 is Ubuntu 26.04, named Resolute Raccoon. It is free at ubuntu.com. Installation takes approximately 20 minutes on any machine made after 2015. Hardware compatibility is the broadest of any option on this list. Best option. Number 2, Zorin OS. If you are switching a household, a small office, or any environment where non-technical users need to be productive immediately, without a learning period, Zorin OS is the correct answer. Download the free core edition at zorin.com. The Pro edition at $47.99 is worth considering if you want the additional desktop layouts and pre-installed LibreOffice suite. But the free version replaces Windows completely. Boot it from a USB drive before installing. Zorin OS includes a full live session that lets you test every feature without touching your hard drive. If it works in the live session, it will work after installation. Best option number 1, Linux Mint. For the largest number of Windows users, people who want a reliable, familiar, fast, and completely free operating system that requires the least adjustment and delivers the most consistent daily experience, Linux Mint is the answer. Download the Cinnamon Edition at linuxmint.com. The download is free. The installation is free. The updates are free. Run it from a USB drive first. Open the file manager, connect to your Wi-Fi, play a video, open the software manager, and install an application. If those 4 things work, and on virtually every machine made in the last 12 years, they will. You have found your Windows replacement. You will not miss the $139.99. The golden rule: before you install anything, run a live session from a USB drive. Every distribution on this list supports this. You download the ISO file. You write it to a USB drive using a free tool called Balena Etcher or Ventoy. You boot from the USB, and you are running the full operating system without installing a single file on your machine. Test your Wi-Fi, test your audio, test your display resolution, test any external hardware you use daily. If it works in the live session, installation is a 15-minute process. 3 red flags that mean a distribution is not ready for your machine. Wi-Fi that requires manual driver installation. Display resolution that defaults to 800 by 600. And audio that produces no output after a fresh boot. Any of these in a live session means try a different distribution before committing. One label that actually matters: LTS, long-term support. Any distribution with that label receives guaranteed security updates for a minimum of 5 years. Any distribution without it may stop receiving updates within a year or two. For a machine you plan to use daily, LTS is not optional. You have been paying for an operating system that tracks your behavior, serves you advertisements in the start menu, forces updates that have repeatedly broken machines, and drops support for hardware that works perfectly. 3 free alternatives exist. They are mature, they are stable, and they are used by millions of people worldwide. Share this with someone still running Windows 10 on a machine Microsoft told them to replace. That notification is not a hardware problem. It is a sales pitch. And now they know the answer.